video, I'm going to continue building on what we discussed last time, which was a tool, a leadership tool called the ladder of inference. And that ladder of inference gave us insight into our thinking process or how we perceive the world. And what's very interesting, if you ask someone why they don't have something that they desire, particular goal, whether it's in their professional life, relationships, finances, what have you, you'll hear, based on the response that they give you, their story. So that's what we're going to be exploring today, the stories that we tell ourselves. And why do I call them stories? Because they're not based on facts. Back to the ladder of inference, they're based on how we see the world based on our lens. I'm going to share with you a story of my father. I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this story. And it really will give you insight into some of his thinking or thinking process. And this would come up for so many different scenarios. So my father moved from Caracas, Venezuela to Montreal. And for those of you who are not familiar, well, Caracas, much more political instability, and I would even call it, there's a lot of lack of safety in that country versus what we experienced in Canada. So Canada, rather stable, safe. And when he moved there, back in that time especially, you could pretty much leave your doors open and nothing would happen. And yet we were the only house on the block that grew up with bars on our window, because my dad installed bars on the window to keep us safe. Now, what does that tell you about his thinking process? That clearly he didn't experience the world as a safe place. And what was very interesting is throughout his life, as we were kids, and I would hear, maybe it was my mother asking him, why did that deal fall through, or why didn't that happen? In his answer, almost all the time would be, well, you can't trust so-and-so, or the world is like this, or people are out to get you. And there was always some aspect that revealed that lens. And that lens was that you couldn't trust others. And as a result, what was very interesting is that was his experience of life. And so that was his ladder of inference, right? He had experienced enough things that had told him that the world was not safe. And as a result, that became how he not only perceived it, but how he behaved, because we had bars on our window. So what stories are you telling yourself when it comes to anything? When it comes to why you might not have the relationship that you want, why you don't have the job that you want? Think back to the dimensions of your life, that exercise that you did, and see if the ladder of inference is playing a part there. Explore the stories that you're telling yourself. I want to hear about it in the comments below.